The stars stretched endlessly across the dark sky, sparkling like tiny fires scattered across black velvet. Alan Brooks stared out of the wide observation window of the alien ship, his long fingers tapping nervously on the console. He had never seen a galaxy so quiet and still, as if the universe itself were holding its breath. The journey had taken hundreds of thousands of years, though for him and the crew, time had passed differently. Their lives were extended by alien technology, suspended in long cycles of sleep and activity. Now, finally, Earth waited below them. The planet looked peaceful. Blue oceans shimmered beneath thin clouds, and green forests spread across continents, untouched by fire or human hands. Alan felt a strange ache in his chest. He had studied Earth from afar for millennia, seen it as a pale dot with fragile life, barely surviving. Their old records described humans as weak and short-lived, violent and primitive. No one had expected the planet to survive even a few thousand more years, yet here it was, vibrant and alive. Lara Kent, the expedition commander, walked to the window beside him. She was tall, with short dark hair and calm, thoughtful eyes. She placed her hand lightly on the glass. "It's different from what the old records said," she said quietly. "I thought we would see deserts, crumbled cities, maybe some wild animals, not this." Alan nodded, still staring down. "I thought so too, but look at it, everything is growing, perfectly balanced. Somehow Earth healed itself." Lara's eyes narrowed. "And humans, what if they survived in ways we never imagined?" Alan swallowed hard. The thought made his stomach tighten. They had come expecting ruins, fossils, maybe traces of human civilization. Instead, the scanners had picked up structures, gigantic, artificial, and unlike anything humans should have been able to build. They were hidden beneath oceans, deep forests, even under the thick ice of the polar caps. Their designs were strange but familiar, almost as if someone had combined nature with technology in a way that only a genius could imagine. The bridge fell silent. Outside, Earth rotated slowly, beautiful and untouchable. No one moved for several moments. Then the soft hum of the ship's engines reminded them they were observers, intruders in a world they had thought long gone. Alan turned to the console and typed rapidly. The scanners zoomed in on one of the structures in the Pacific Ocean. A massive dome rose from the water, smooth and metallic, reflecting the sun like a mirror. It was enormous, far beyond anything humans had ever made, or could have made 500,000 years ago. Lara bent over the console. "We need a closer look," she said. "Send a probe." Alan nodded. He activated the controls, and a small probe separated from the ship. It slipped silently through the atmosphere, descending toward the dome. The bridge crew watched the screen as the probe skimmed over the water, closer and closer. The surface of the dome was perfect. There were no signs of wear, no rust, no damage. Somehow it had survived the centuries untouched. Then the scanner detected something moving inside. Alan's fingers froze. "Did the probe just pick up movement?" he whispered. Lara's eyes widened. "It shouldn't be alive. It's been 500,000 years. Humans should be gone. This is impossible." The movement became clearer. Tiny shapes shifted inside the dome, organized in ways that suggested intelligence. Alan leaned closer, holding his breath. "Life! There is life down there, humans or something like them." The crew stared in disbelief. For centuries, alien historians had told them that humanity had been short-lived, a minor species barely surviving on the edge of extinction. They had come prepared to mourn the death of a world, not to find it thriving with hidden intelligence. Lara straightened and spoke firmly. "We need to descend. Carefully, we cannot assume they will be friendly, but we cannot ignore this." Alan hesitated. "Commander, what if it's dangerous? What if we awaken something we cannot control?" Lara shook her head. "We will not know until we see for ourselves. If we stay up here, we are only guessing. The truth is down there, and it's time we faced it." The ship began its descent. The engines hummed softly as it entered Earth's atmosphere. Outside, clouds swirled in delicate patterns, and the sun reflected on the water below. Alan and Lara watched as the massive dome grew larger on the screens, its edges sharp and alien in design, yet somehow natural. As they approached, the probe's camera revealed more details. The dome was not solid. It had layers, intricate designs, and corridors that glowed faintly with light. The movement inside was clearer now, beings that appeared human, yet different. Their features were sharper, taller, more graceful, and their movements precise and deliberate. They did not run or hide. Instead, they seemed aware of the probe, observing it carefully. Alan's voice trembled. This is impossible. Humans should not look like this. They shouldn't even exist." Lara did not reply immediately. Her mind raced, thinking about the consequences of this discovery. If humans had survived, evolved, and hidden themselves for 500,000 years, what else might they have accomplished? How powerful could they be now? She felt a mix of fear and awe. The ship settled into orbit above the dome. Lara called the crew together. "We will not land yet," she said. "We observe first. We learn their intentions. Alan, run a full scan of the structure. I want everything recorded, every corridor, every room, every movement. We need data before we make contact." Alan worked quickly. The scanners penetrated the outer walls of the dome, mapping the interior in incredible detail. The images shocked the crew. The corridors were lined with living plants intertwined with metal frameworks. Rooms glowed with soft light. Machines hummed silently, integrated into every surface. It was as if nature and technology had become one. Then a voice spoke, not through the ship's speakers, but directly in their minds. It was calm, soft, yet commanding. "Visitors from the stars," it said. "You are expected." The bridge fell silent. Alan looked at Lara, eyes wide. Did you hear that?" Lara nodded slowly. "Yes, they can communicate directly, mentally. That explains the movement, the awareness. They are not hiding. They are choosing when to reveal themselves." Alan felt a shiver run down his spine. The humans had transcended in ways the aliens could not have imagined. They were alive, aware, intelligent, and far beyond the primitive species described in history books. Lara spoke with quiet authority. "Prepare for direct observation. No contact yet. We do not know their intentions, but we must understand them first. This is history in the making, Alan. The story of Earth's people is not over. We are about to witness it firsthand." Alan nodded, though his mind was racing. He had studied humanity for millennia, but nothing could have prepared him for this. The humans had survived, evolved, and hidden their greatness. The thought filled him with awe and a strange, uneasy excitement. Hours passed as the ship circled the dome. The mental presence of the humans was calm, almost welcoming, yet powerful. Alan and Lara watched as more shapes appeared, beings moving with grace and precision, their forms elegant and strong. Some approached the walls of the dome as if observing the ship in return. Alan whispered almost to himself, "They're perfect, not just alive but perfected. How did they do this? How did they survive, hide, and evolve without us noticing?" Lara did not answer. She too was lost in thought. The humans had waited, watched, and allowed the aliens to return. But why, and what would they do now? The questions were endless, but one thing was clear. The aliens had come expecting to find a dead world, only to discover a living, thriving civilization hidden for 500,000 years. The sun began to set over the horizon, casting long shadows across the dome. The humans inside did not hide. They watched patiently, silently, as if testing the aliens' intentions. Alan felt a sense of humility wash over him. For centuries, aliens had studied humanity as a minor species. Now it was clear that humanity had become something else entirely. Something beyond their understanding. Lara placed her hand on Alan's shoulder. "We must be careful," she said. "They are not the humans we remember. They are more, much more, and they are waiting to see what we will do." Alan nodded. His heart raced with fear and excitement. The journey to Earth had ended, but the true adventure was just beginning. As night fell across the planet, the stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if celebrating the return of the aliens to a world that had changed in ways no one could imagine. And below, hidden within the dome, humanity watched and waited, patient, silent, and infinitely powerful. The alien ship hovered silently above the dome. Alan Brooke could not take his eyes off the images on the main screen. The humans inside moved with a quiet rhythm, almost as if they had rehearsed their every step for centuries. Every movement seemed precise, deliberate, and unlike anything Alan had ever seen. He felt a mix of fear, awe, and curiosity. Lara Kent paced slowly across the bridge. "They are not afraid of us," she said quietly. "And they are not hiding. They are waiting. They want us to see them." Alan frowned. "But why, if they survived all this time, why reveal themselves now? Why let us return?" Lara shook her head. "We don't know yet. But they are intelligent, more intelligent than we imagined. Whatever their plan, we need to be careful." The scanners began to pick up more details inside the dome. The corridors were lined with strange, living materials. Walls that seemed to breathe, floors that glowed softly, and plants that intertwined with metal frames. Some structures appeared to be buildings, while others looked like machines, but all were integrated into the environment in perfect harmony. Alan tapped the console. There is more life than we expected. Hundreds, maybe thousands of individuals. They are organized, not scattered. Their movements are coordinated. It's like they are working together as one mind. Lara nodded. It's not just coordination, it's intelligence beyond our understanding, and they are alive in ways we cannot predict. Alan felt a chill as he observed one of the humans approaching a wall. The figure raised a hand, and the wall itself responded. It opened like a door without hinges, revealing a corridor that glowed with soft white light. The human moved inside, and the walls seemed to close behind them as if nothing had happened. "This is impossible," Alan whispered. "They are controlling the environment. The buildings, the walls, everything is responding to them." Lara watched carefully. "They are not just controlling it. They created it. They built it to respond to their presence. Their technology and biology are connected in a way we cannot understand yet." Alan turned his attention to the mental presence that had first spoken to them. It was stronger now, more focused, almost like a voice in a quiet room, but sharper and clearer. "Aliens from the stars," the voice said again, calm and steady. "You have returned, you are expected. Your curiosity is known. Your intentions will soon be tested. Do not be afraid." "We are not your enemies." Lara took a deep breath. "Did you hear that, Alan? They are speaking directly to our minds. No translation needed. It's like they are reaching inside our thoughts." Alan nodded slowly. "Yes, but why? Why reach out to us like this? They could destroy us in an instant if they wanted to. Instead, they speak to us carefully." Lara's eyes narrowed. "They are testing us. We have to show patience and respect. Any wrong move could change everything." The ship descended slightly, moving closer to the dome. The humans inside continued their activities, unaware or unconcerned about the ship above. Alan noticed something strange. A few humans were interacting with machines that seemed alive. One placed a hand on a device, and it responded, changing shape and forming a chair. Another touched a panel, and it shifted into a screen showing images of distant planets and stars. "This is beyond anything we know," Alan said, voice low. "It's like they merged biology and technology into one being." Lara nodded. "They did not just survive, they evolved. They learned to control their environment, their minds, their bodies, even the planet itself. We expected ruins. We found perfection." Suddenly, a group of humans gathered near the edge of the dome. They raised their hands in unison, and a bright light appeared above them, forming shapes and symbols that Alan could barely comprehend. It was not a language they had ever seen, yet he felt he understood it. The symbols spoke of welcome, of peace, and of knowledge. "They are communicating with us," Lara whispered. "Not with words, but with thought, with symbols, with understanding itself." Alan felt a strange warmth in his chest. For centuries, humans had been studied as a minor species. Now he realized they had become something extraordinary, something the aliens could never have predicted. "We need to proceed carefully," Lara said. "Observe, record, but do not act yet. We need more information before we can make contact." Alan nodded. The crew worked silently, capturing images, scanning the structures, and recording every movement. The more they observed, the more they realized how advanced these humans had become. They were not just alive, they were guardians, creators, and keepers of knowledge that spanned the stars. Hours passed. The sun moved slowly across the sky, casting shadows over the dome. Alan noticed that some humans were now interacting with holographic images, displaying planets, stars, and galaxies. They moved their hands over the images, and the holograms responded, showing routes through space, structures on distant worlds, and strange, glowing energy patterns. "They are mapping the galaxy," Alan said in awe, "and we thought they were gone." Lara watched closely. "They are more than mapping. They are planning, preparing, understanding. They are alive in a way we cannot even imagine, and they know we are here." The mental voice returned, stronger now, almost like a conversation. "You see us as we are," it said. "Curious, cautious, intelligent. We have survived beyond what you expected. We have waited, and you have returned. Now you must decide what to do with what you have found." Alan felt a shiver run down his spine. "They are testing us," he said. "They are waiting to see our intentions. They could destroy us easily, yet they speak to us with patience." Lara nodded. "And that patience is the most frightening part. They have waited 500,000 years. They can wait for another century if needed." We are the newcomers, not them. We must be careful, respectful, and humble. Alan continued to observe the dome. The humans moved with precision, interacting with machines and each other. They seemed to communicate without words, understanding one another instantly. Some of them looked directly at the ship, their eyes calm, powerful, and full of knowledge. Alan felt as if those eyes could see his thoughts, his fears, his doubts. "We are being watched," Alan said quietly. "And it's not threatening, it's evaluating us, judging us." Lara's voice was steady. "Exactly. They are assessing our worth, our intentions. They are humanity, but beyond what we expected, and we are not ready for everything they can do." Alan took a deep breath, trying to steady his nerves. "So, what now? Do we try to communicate, land, or wait?" Lara looked out at the dome. "We wait, we observe, we learn. Any wrong move could be dangerous, but patience will show us the truth, and that truth will be shocking." Alan nodded, understanding the weight of her words. Humans had waited 500,000 years. They had hidden, evolved, and perfected themselves, and now they were revealing themselves slowly, carefully, to test the aliens who had returned. The sun began to set, casting long, golden rays across the dome. The humans inside seemed to glow in the fading light, their movements calm, deliberate, and full of purpose. Alan watched in awe as one human raised both hands, and the light from the dome formed shapes that seemed to reach out to the ship. Lara said softly, "They are inviting us not to join them but to understand, to learn, and if we are wise we will accept the lesson without arrogance." Alan felt his heart pound. Centuries of study, thousands of years of knowledge, and 500,000 years of history had led to this moment. The humans were alive, thriving, and far beyond what anyone had imagined. And now the aliens had a choice: observe, retreat, or step into a world that had become something more than life itself. As darkness fell, the dome glowed softly, a beacon of humanity's achievement. Alan realized that the story of humans was not one of failure or extinction. It was a story of patience, intelligence, and quiet power. They had waited, watched, and now the aliens had returned just in time to witness it. The voice spoke again, gentle and calm, echoing in Alan's mind. "We have waited, we have watched, now you see us. Choose your path wisely." Alan looked at Lara and she nodded. They both understood. The next steps would define the future of both species. But for now, they would observe, learn, and prepare for the shocking truth that awaited them within the dome. Outside, the humans moved silently, unaware of the passing hours, their patience endless, their power immense, their presence undeniable. The aliens had returned, and the discovery was far beyond anything they had imagined. The alien ship remained in orbit above the massive dome. Alan Brooke and Lara Kent had spent hours observing the humans below, trying to understand their movements, their abilities, and their purpose. The more they watched, the more they realized that these humans were not ordinary. They were something entirely new, alive, intelligent, and beyond any expectation. Lara turned from the observation console, her face tense but calm. "Alan, it's time to take the next step," she said. "We cannot just watch forever. We need to understand them directly." Without fear, without assumptions. Alan hesitated. "Are you sure? They could destroy us in a heartbeat if we make the wrong move. 500,000 years, that's enough time to become gods." Lara nodded. "And they might be gods, but they are not hostile, at least not yet. We need to communicate, to learn. That is our duty as explorers." Alan took a deep breath. The ship descended slowly, lowering itself toward the dome. The humans below noticed immediately. They moved as one, a coordinated wave of awareness, and the soft glow of the dome brightened. Alan could feel their presence, a quiet but powerful energy that filled his mind with calm and curiosity. Then, without warning, a single human appeared at the top of the dome. She stepped forward with grace, her posture perfect, her eyes clear and steady. Alan and Lara froze as the being raised her hand. A soft wave of energy flowed outward, surrounding the ship in a gentle light. "Do not be afraid," a voice said in their minds, calm and even. "We have waited, we have watched, now it is time to meet." Lara exchanged a glance with Alan. "She is communicating directly, no translator, no machine, just thought." Alan nodded, feeling a strange warmth in his chest. "It's amazing, she is human. But not like any human we've ever known." The human stepped closer, her long hair flowing as if moved by a breeze that did not exist. Her eyes seemed to shine with knowledge, understanding, and patience beyond measure. Alan and Lara could feel her presence in their minds, gentle but commanding. "We are called Emma Hale," she said, her voice clear in their thoughts. "We are the guardians of this world. We have lived, evolved, and waited. Our kind has changed, but we are still human. You returned, and now you must learn the truth." Alan swallowed hard. We did not expect this. Humanity, we thought it was gone." Emma smiled, a faint, calm expression that seemed to radiate intelligence. "Gone, no. Hidden, yes. We prepared, evolved, and waited for the time when others could return safely. Now that time has come. You are here, and the story continues." Lara stepped forward. "What is your purpose? Why remain hidden for so long? Why not explore the stars openly?" Emma's gaze turned toward the horizon. "We chose patience. We observed, guided, and learned. The universe is full of dangers, and we became its silent guardians. We protect without interfering directly, and we ensure that life grows where it can. Our time was not for conquest, but for guidance." Alan looked at the dome below. "You've built everything here, the structures, the technology. It's integrated with nature. It's beautiful." Emma nodded. "We merged with our environment. Biology and technology are one. We have evolved to live in harmony with the planet, to understand it fully and to preserve it. But we also learned to survive beyond it. We have spread in consciousness and presence across worlds." Lara's eyes widened. "You mean you are not just on Earth?" Emma's smile was calm but confident. "We exist in many forms. Some remain here, some travel as thought, some guide other civilizations quietly. Our presence is not always visible, but it is always there. We act only when necessary and always with care." Alan felt awe and fear at the same time. "So all the events in the galaxy, the disasters that never happened, the civilizations that survived, you were behind them." Emma's expression was gentle. "Sometimes we intervene only when needed. We have patience. We do not control, but we guide, we wait, and now you are here. We must see what you will do with this knowledge." Lara stepped closer, careful but steady. "You've waited 500,000 years for this moment?" Emma nodded. "Yes, we have observed, evolved, and prepared. Now the time has come for you to see. Not all humans remained here, but those who did became guardians. We do not conquer, we protect. And we see you have returned, curious, cautious, worthy of learning." Alan felt a shiver run through him. Humanity, the species he had studied for centuries, had transcended in ways he could not imagine. They were no longer just humans. They were custodians of the galaxy, patient, intelligent, and immensely powerful. Emma reached out, and a soft light flowed toward the ship. Alan could feel it touch his mind, filling him with calm, understanding, and a sudden awareness of the scale of human evolution. He saw glimpses of cities hidden beneath oceans, forests, and ice. He saw humans communicating without words, shaping machines, energy, and nature as if all were one. He saw the galaxy as a living map, guided by patient hands and careful minds. Lara gasped softly. "It's overwhelming. They are everywhere in ways we cannot see." "They have prepared for everything." Emma's voice was gentle but firm. "We are patient as we have always been. We do not rush. We do not demand. We wait. And now you have arrived and the story continues. The choice is yours. How will you act with what you have learned?" Alan looked at Lara, both of them stunned by the scope of what they had seen. We need to understand fully. We cannot rush. We have so much to learn." Emma nodded. "That is wise. Arrogance is dangerous. Patience and respect will guide you. In time, you may see the full extent of what humanity has become. For now, observe, learn, and prepare. We will reveal only what you are ready to see." Lara spoke softly. "And if we fail, if we show fear or aggression?" Emma's gaze was calm but firm. "We are patient, but consequences exist. We do not destroy unnecessarily, but we will protect what is ours, what we guard, and what is precious. The galaxy is full of dangers, and we have learned to survive. So will you, if you respect what you see." Alan felt his mind expand with new understanding. The humans were not just alive. They were aware, evolved, and patient beyond measure. They had watched the galaxy, guided life, and remained hidden until the right moment. They were the guardians of Earth, the custodians of life itself. Lara took a deep breath. "We came expecting ruins. Instead, we found this: guardians, teachers, and a civilization beyond imagination." Emma's eyes shone with calm power. "Do not be afraid. We are human. We have simply grown, evolved, and waited. Now you must choose. Will you observe and learn, or will you act without understanding? Your choices will shape the future for you and for the galaxy." Alan and Lara stood in silence, feeling the weight of her words. Humanity had returned, not as conquerors, but as protectors. They had waited for 500,000 years, evolving and guiding, preparing for a moment such as this. And now the aliens were witnesses, visitors, and students in a world that had become something far greater than anyone could have imagined. Hours passed as they observed Emma and the others. Humans moved with grace and purpose, interacting with machines, plants, and each other. They were not simply alive, they were conscious in ways the aliens could barely comprehend. Their minds were vast, their patience endless, and their understanding of the universe profound. Alan whispered, "They are everywhere, and yet they are here. They control nothing with force, only with knowledge and care. They are perfect." Lara's voice was quiet. "And we are seeing only a fraction. Imagine what else we do not yet understand. The galaxy, life itself, humanity has touched it all quietly, patiently, and wisely." Emma's voice returned to their minds, gentle and calm. "Learn what you can, respect what you see, and when the time comes, you will understand the truth. Patience is the greatest teacher, and understanding is the greatest power. Welcome to the next chapter of humanity." Alan and Lara looked at each other, their minds full of awe, fear, and curiosity. The story of humans was no longer one of extinction or weakness. It was a story of evolution, patience, and power beyond imagination. And now the aliens had returned to a world where the guardians of life waited, patient and calm, ready to reveal only what was necessary. As night fell over the dome, the soft glow of the humans and their structures lit the horizon. Alan and Lara realized that the story of Earth and humanity was far from over. It was just beginning. They had witnessed the awakening of a civilization that had waited, evolved, and returned in silence. And the next step would be the most important of all, understanding the full truth of what humanity had become. Outside, Emma and the humans moved with perfect coordination, silent, calm, and infinitely powerful. The aliens had returned, and the shocking truth was only beginning to unfold. Alan Brooke and Lara Kent stood on the bridge, watching the dome glow softly beneath them. For hours they had observed the humans, learned a little of their ways, and felt the presence of Emma Hale and the others in their minds. But now, the feeling was stronger. The humans were ready to show them more, ready to reveal the shocking truth of what humanity had become. Emma's presence entered their minds, calm and steady. "You have seen enough to understand part of what we are," she said. "Now you will see the whole." Alan swallowed hard. "The whole, you mean everything, what humanity has done, what you have become?" Emma nodded. "Yes. All that you were told about humanity's weakness and extinction is false. That history was only the beginning. What follows is the truth, and it will change how you see life itself." Lara's eyes widened. "We are ready. We need to see it. We must understand." Emma's voice was gentle. "Follow your thoughts. We will guide you." A soft light flowed from the dome upward, surrounding the ship. Alan felt his mind expand as visions entered him. He saw the Earth as it had been, fragile and dangerous, full of war and disease. He saw humans struggling to survive, weak, fragile, and small. Then the vision shifted. He saw humans beginning to change, merging biology with technology, learning to control the environment, developing intelligence beyond their ancestors' dreams. He saw them creating cities that repaired themselves, machines that responded to thought, and energy that flowed naturally through all things. He saw humans not just surviving, but shaping the world carefully, patiently, with foresight beyond imagination. Lara gasped. They changed everything. They didn't just survive, they perfected themselves and the planet." Alan nodded. "And not only the planet, the galaxy. Look at this." The visions expanded, showing humanity's reach beyond Earth. He saw thoughts traveling across space, influencing distant civilizations, guiding them without revealing their presence. He saw natural disasters prevented, wars stopped, entire species preserved. Humans had become silent guardians of life, protecting the galaxy quietly without taking credit. Emma's voice filled their minds. "We acted only when necessary. We did not conquer. We did not dominate. We waited, we learned, and we guided. Our patience was our strength, our silence our power. Now you see what humanity truly is." Alan felt his heart race. All the legends of human failure, none of it was true. Humanity survived, evolved, and became something else. Guardians, protectors, creators. Lara's voice was soft. "And they waited for us to return. 500,000 years, that's unimaginable. They could have acted any time. They chose patience." Emma nodded. "Everything we do is with purpose. The galaxy is full of life, some fragile, some strong, all worthy of guidance." We preserve without interfering unnecessarily. We teach, protect, and wait. Now you are here, you will learn more if you are willing. Alan looked at Lara, his mind full of wonder and fear. We expected ruins. Instead, we found gods in human form. And they are patient, not aggressive. They test us, not destroy us. Emma's presence grew stronger. The dome you see is only a small part. Earth is now a sanctuary, a place of learning, a center of knowledge. Every human inside is a guardian. Our consciousness stretches beyond this world, and we watch, guide, and protect. Our power is not for domination, but for preservation. Lara felt her voice tremble. You've saved life across the galaxy. You've prevented disasters, wars, and extinctions, all in silence. All in secret, and now you choose to reveal yourselves to us. Emma's eyes seemed to shine through their minds. We reveal only what you are ready to see. Understanding comes with patience. Arrogance leads to destruction. Now you know that humanity is more than a species. We are custodians of life, and you have returned at the right time. Alan shivered. This is beyond anything we imagined. Humans are everywhere in thought, in presence, in guidance, and we are seeing only a fraction. Emma's voice was calm but firm. Even the smallest observation can teach much. Learn what you can, respect what you see, and remember, patience is our greatest power, understanding is our greatest gift. Lara stepped closer to the window, looking down at the dome. So, humanity never really left. It only changed, evolved, and waited. And now it watches us. Emma nodded. We have waited for this moment. We have hidden, observed, and prepared. Now you are here. Your actions will determine how much you can learn and how you will join the story of life in the galaxy. Alan and Lara watched as humans moved with perfect coordination inside the dome. Some interacted with machines, others with plants, others with flowing energy patterns that seemed alive. The harmony of life and technology was breathtaking. Alan felt overwhelmed by the scope of their abilities, the patience, and the intelligence that radiated from every movement. They are perfect, Alan whispered. Not just humans, but guides, protectors, and teachers, and we are seeing only a fraction of it. Lara nodded. And the galaxy, all life, it has been touched by them quietly without showing force. They've prepared for everything, watched everything, and guided without revealing themselves. We are in their world now, their presence around us, and we must respect it. Emma's voice filled their minds again. The galaxy is full of life, full of potential. We preserve it, guide it, and protect it. We have waited for millennia to see the right moment. You are here now. Observe, learn, and choose carefully. Your choices will shape your place in this story. Alan and Lara looked at each other, understanding the gravity of what they had learned. Humanity was no longer fragile, short-lived, or primitive. It was patient, powerful, and wise beyond imagination. And the aliens had returned to witness it all, not as conquerors, but as students. Hours passed as they absorbed the visions. Emma and the other humans moved with calm, precise actions, their consciousness flowing seamlessly between biology and technology, thought and reality. Alan realized that humanity's patience was infinite, and their power, though quiet, was absolute. We came expecting ruins, Alan said softly. Instead, we found the most extraordinary civilization in the galaxy, and they've waited for us to return. Lara nodded, eyes shining. And they will continue to wait, guide, and protect. They are the guardians of life, and we are only visitors learning from them. The truth is, humanity never failed. It became greater than we could ever imagine. Emma stepped closer to the dome, her presence radiating calm power. You have seen the truth. Humanity survives, evolves, and protects. Our story is not of destruction, but of patience, wisdom, and guidance. The galaxy is full of life, and we ensure it thrives. You may now choose your path. Observe, learn, and respect, or depart with what you understand. But know this, our patience is endless and our vigilance eternal. Alan felt a deep awe. We understand. We will observe, learn, and respect. We came as explorers, but we leave as students. Lara's voice was firm. And we will honor what we have learned. Humanity, the humans of this world, they are the greatest story in the galaxy, not because of power, but because of patience, wisdom, and restraint. Emma smiled faintly, calm and serene. Then you are ready. Learn, observe, and prepare. Humanity is eternal, patient, and strong, and now you have returned to see it for yourself. The sun rose slowly over the horizon, casting golden light across the dome. Humans moved calmly inside, tending to their machines, plants, and energy flows. Their presence was gentle but powerful, patient but absolute. Alan and Lara watched in awe, realizing that the story of humanity was no longer one of weakness or extinction. It was a story of growth, evolution, and quiet, infinite power. Alan spoke softly. The galaxy, everything we thought we knew, is different now. Humans are not just a species. They are guardians, teachers, and protectors, and we are lucky to witness it. Lara nodded. And we must remember this. Everything we do from now on must respect what we have learned. Patience, wisdom, guidance, that is the true power of humanity. Emma's presence filled their minds one last time, calm and reassuring. We have waited, we have guided, we have protected. Now you know the truth. Humanity is eternal, patient, and powerful. The galaxy is in our care, and yours too, if you are willing to learn. Choose wisely, act with respect, and remember that patience is the greatest strength. Alan and Lara stood silently, overwhelmed by what they had seen, felt, and understood. Humanity had returned not to conquer, but to protect. They had evolved beyond what anyone could imagine. And the aliens had returned to find not ruins, but a living, breathing civilization that had waited, watched, and grown beyond measure. As the alien ship lifted from the dome, Alan and Lara knew their place in the galaxy had changed forever. Humanity was no longer a fragile species of the past. It was patient, wise, and powerful. It had waited 500,000 years to reveal itself. And now, the aliens had returned to witness the greatest story in the universe, a story of survival, evolution, and infinite patience. The dome glowed softly beneath them, alive, calm, and eternal. The humans moved within it, guardians of the planet and the galaxy, patient and vigilant. Alan and Lara looked at each other, their hearts full of awe and respect. Humanity had returned. And the shocking truth was complete. The galaxy was watched, guided, and protected by a species that had waited, evolved, and become something far greater than anyone had imagined. Aliens returned to Earth 500,000 years later. Their discovery is shocking.